Hello, and welcome to Sideways. There's this little stretch of path, I suppose you'd call it, where we're walking, where we walk every Saturday, because I am a creature of habit. And the birds are always so vociferous down here that, frankly, whatever mood you're in, it would be impossible, I think, to feel empty. It kind of makes you feel something, whatever it is. And that kind of empty feeling is what we're talking about this week. Along with a world record that involved a very large paper plane, which gave Martin and I the opportunity to reminisce about making paper planes when we were younger. And I remember asking on the episode the question, do you think people still make paper planes? And Martin said he felt confident they did, but, you know, I'm not so sure. Perhaps a paper plane can't compete with a video game. The other thing that I want to draw your attention to, which is staggering but a bit alarming, is that the blackberries are already out. I mean, it's, what is it, the 11th of July today? Blackberries? In the 1970s, we were lucky if we saw a blackberry before September. So, that's global warming for you. Anyway, shall I stop whittering on? I think I should, because it's quite warm. And no offence, but I want to enjoy my walk with the dogs. So, I'll leave it at that. Feeling hollow.
Good evening.
Good evening. You've got my nemesis as your screensaver.
I've got a nice blue sky behind me with the sun blazing down.
Exactly. It's not the sky that's the problem.
What is it? The sun?
Exactly. Yeah. It's too hot, isn't it?
Oh well, it's lovely, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's not lovely. Stop it.
It's absolute scorchio out there.
Yeah, I've got to ask you a question about weather.
Go on.
A few weeks ago on your gratitude list, I've got my fan going full blast actually, so that probably ruin the sound of this episode. So I apologise in advance, but I'm not turning my fan off.
No, why should you?
Anyway, a few weeks ago on your gratitude list, you had coming home and putting shorts on, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And today, I don't know why I was thinking of this, but I thought to myself, what, you don't wear shorts at work in this weather?
Yeah, we do now. Yeah, I do. Oh. When it gets over sort of 25, then I wear shorts. Yeah.
Is that the cut-off for you?
Yeah, I think if the forecast is above 25, definitely shorts.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
And we are allowed, so most people do.
Well, that's why I was asking. I thought it'd be a bit odd if you were forced to wear long trousers in tropical heat like we've got at the moment.
It would be a draconian rule, that's for sure. Yeah, they insisted upon that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, you're doing all right in the heat, and you're surviving, okay, aren't you?
Well, I'm surviving. If you mean, am I alive? Then yeah, evidence would suggest that I am, but I'm not enjoying it. It's too much, isn't it?
Is it? Does it leave you sort of a hollow feeling inside?
I wouldn't go that far.
That was as close as a sort of segue I could sort out at short notice.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Yeah. Makes me feel angry rather than hollow.
Right. Oh, okay. Well, I think we've done one on anger before.
I think we probably have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm okay. I think I exist in a workable version currently.
Well, good. When we're doing this at 7 o'clock at night, so it's cooled down from the heat of the day somewhat.
Not really, has it? A bit. It's still over 30 degrees.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So
it's like being abroad.
It is like being abroad, only without the opportunity to sit outside and have your dinner by the pool.
Yeah, and go swimming all day.
Yeah, and get bitten by mosquitoes and that.
All that, and have terrible dysentery and stuff.
And drink lager at about 9:30 in the morning.
That's bang out of line, obviously, whichever country you're in.
I don't suppose you ever did that, did you?
All the time, but yeah, not now, no. Yeah, I didn't wait till I was on holiday, that's for sure. Anyway, talking about feeling hollow.
Yeah, okay.
Because I remember running a group for people in recovery some time ago, and someone checked in with the phrase, "I'm just feeling hollow."
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, well, I always felt there was more to it than that. It wasn't. There's more to come out, and it's taken some time. But I've had the time recently to do a bit of research on it and find out what exactly that means, and if there's any way of sort of moving through the emotions successfully. If there's a way to not to beat the hollow feeling, to make it feel a bit more handleable.
Interesting. See, I think I'd either outwardly or inwardly applaud someone who came up with the word hollow in a check-in.
Would you?
Yeah, because usually I don't know what you find, but when I've done that, when I've been involved in group therapy, usually people come up with quite sort of standard words. I feel a bit anxious, or I feel a bit angry this morning, or whatever. I feel a bit hot because it's far too warm outside, that sort of thing. And hollow is quite it's a bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for?
Oh, that's quite descriptive, but it's
quite exactly that. It's quite descriptive, but it's not particularly descriptive because it doesn't nail anything, does it?
Not really. No, it just gives you, when I sort of visualise, like a tree with a hollow in it that you used to climb into as a kid and make little camps at the base of a tree, the hollowed tree. Yeah. It was still surviving, but didn't look quite complete.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever made a camp in a hollow tree.
Oh, you're missing out then.
Yeah, I might do that at some point.
It's never too late.
No.
But before we start,
yeah,
I've got another Guinness World Record for you.
Excellent. One I can have a go at.
You may be able to, because there's a group of students from Italy's University of Pisa. They constructed a paper aeroplane with a wingspan of nearly 66 feet. Okay.
Wow.
And flew at a distance of 193 feet.
Wow.
It was just made from paper and glue, and they called it the Icarus project.
Yeah.
And it put them into the Guinness Book of Records, a record that has stood since 2013.
Wow, that is a hefty paper aeroplane.
It is, but it reminded me of making paper airplanes as a kid. And I think we used to go out, and all the kids in the street used to try and make bigger and bigger ones and fly them and try and get them to do loop the loop around the telephone wires that went across the road, that sort of thing.
And then eventually someone came into school with a sort of a new fold that made an amazing paper aeroplane, and everybody learnt it.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know if people still make paper aeroplanes.
I'd like to think they do, because it was such fun, wasn't it?
It was brilliant. And then I remember up the back field there, on the back of paper aeroplanes, there was one time, must have been in the 80s probably, it probably might have been before that, where these quite cheap polystyrene aeroplanes came out, where you just had to put them together. Do you remember them?
I do.
They had a kind of solid polystyrene body and then quite light polystyrene wings, and they were amazing. They were forever.
They used to have quite a gentle little weight on the nose.
They did, yeah.
That used to constantly pop off, but once you got it right, they were brilliant.
Yeah, they'd go further than 123 feet, I can tell you.
They probably would.
You probably wouldn't get in the Guinness Book of Records, though, would you?
No, you wouldn't. Especially if you launched it with a catapult, they were always good as well. Really,
or off a high building.
Off a high building.
If you went down Stoneborough and stood on the top of the multi-storey car park and launched it.
It reminds me of that video with someone right at the back of a football stadium.
Oh yeah,
miles away from the pitch, through this paper aeroplane, and it went. It took forever to get near the pitch, and as it got near the pitch, it just hit a player straight in the back of the head.
Yeah,
it's a wonderful shot.
Yeah. If the USA were playing, the game would be replayed, wouldn't it?
Of course it would, yeah.
Trump would be straight on the phone, wouldn't he?
You can't have he'd want a bigger one, wouldn't he? Bigger aeroplane. He's good at making. He's the best at making aeroplanes.
He's bound to be, isn't he? Bound to be. Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, I probably won't have a go at that.
No,
Guinness
but
World Record.
it's a nice one. I think that's quite a gentle record. I think, but there's a couple of other things that caught my attention.
Yeah.
There was a cricket match in Newcastle.
Yeah.
I think we've had something similar to this before, but it was called off when an escaped bull wandered onto the field of play
Ah.
and started charging the players.
Oh.
You wouldn't want that, would you?
No, I'm just trying to think back now. I don't think that ever happened when I was playing.
Did it not? No.
No. That would be unsettling, I think.
It would be unsettling. But what it reminded me of when I was reading that story, how the joy that I see when out in Spain, you see these videos of the bullfighters getting horribly mauled by the bull.
Yeah.
Totally applaud it. And you see the bulls running down the street as well. And people are taunting it.
Yeah.
And then suddenly one of them would get caught and tossed around like a rag doll. And I think, yeah, serves you right, mate. The poor animal looks really frightened, running up and down, doesn't know what's going on. So, and I think they deserve to get mauled, these people.
Absolutely right. Couldn't agree more. Yeah.
So that was a cricket match. And the last bit was a bit more giraffe news. We like giraffe news. Now, there's a headline saying that study finds giraffes may be capable of rudimentary maths.
Really?
Yeah. It was really spurious. But
sure, they can't use a calculator, can they?
They can't use a calculator, but they found that if they added a certain amount of carrots to a box, then the giraffe would go for that box because they had more in. And they thought it was you do the math, they said to the giraffe.
Surely that's not math. Surely that's just visual. You just look at it and you think that looks like there's more in there.
There's more in there, but yeah. They apparently that was good enough for them to conclude that giraffes can do long division and that.
Algebra.
Easy.
They understand logarithmic curves, don't they, giraffes? Everybody knows that. I mean, if you saw 2 plates of chips and one had a bigger pile of chips on it, you wouldn't think, hang on, I think what I'll do is I'll count those. You'd go for the bigger pile of chips, wouldn't you?
They would, but the giraffe could see them going into a hidden box.
So it's hidden box. I was seeing being counted in.
Yeah,
but that could also be a function of time, couldn't it? I've stood here for longer watching you put carrots in that box than I did you putting carrots in that box. I'm not buying that, really.
No, well, it's open to debate. I'm sure, but I like giraffe news.
Well, I've got some giraffe news for you.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. What have you?
It's an update. It's an update on Gracie.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because after you left me and all of our listeners hanging, not knowing what had happened to Gracie, you told us that she'd escaped.
Yeah.
And you told us that no one could find her.
Yeah.
But we never had any sort of there's never any closure.
We didn't have any closure.
You know how I like that as a concept. Well, anyway, I'm pleased to tell you that Gracie was found safe.
Oh, good.
And described as fat and happy. So she's been wandering around, stuffing her face. And I don't know where she'd been hiding. It didn't really go into that in the report. But she's back.
Oh, good. I'm glad she's safe. I'm glad Gracie's safe because, she'd wandered off, hadn't she?
She had. And I hope she doesn't wander off again. Although I suppose if she returned fat and happy, there's every chance that she might.
Well, she's been to the dark side, hasn't she, of the mountain? She wants to go back there again.
I don't know. I want to know what she'd been eating.
Well, she's showing addiction qualities, isn't she? There, she's going to be off, mate.
Anyway, there we are.
Anyway, so should we get on to the subject matter?
Yeah, we should do because it's almost bedtime.
Well, quite. Yeah, it is late. And
I've got to have a little sleep before the football.
9 o'clock kickoff, isn't it?
So middle of the night, you mean?
Yeah, well, it is for you. Absolutely right.
Yeah.
So feeling hollow.
Yeah.
So I do the research on it, and sometimes I think probably a lot of us have this feeling from time to time, but it's like it's quite exhausting and it's quite an isolating experience, and it makes complete sense that you sort of you're looking for answers, and the research shows it can feel like you're sort of a ghost watching your own life happen from a distance. Mm-hmm. Or there's like this physical vacuum right in the center of your chest. So it can manifest in both emotional and sort of physical, with physical symptoms.
Yeah.
And the research goes on to say, you're not broken at this point. This feeling is a very common human response to certain psychological conditions. Mm-hmm. And it goes on to tell us what the hollowness is trying to tell you.
Oh, this would be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you wanted to add anything at this point, but
Well, no, all I was going to say, I think you've kind of covered it. All I was going to say was the that feeling of being hollow kind of spans across a number of different psychological diagnoses. You know, it can be
yeah,
a part of feeling depressed, can be a
yeah,
part of feeling, it can be a part of a personality disorder like BPD.
yeah.
So there are kind of all sorts of presentations in which part of the symptom could be feeling hollow, which is why I think we were saying at the start, it's in one way quite descriptive, but in another way, it's very ambiguous.
Well, it is, and I'll sort of wrap this episode up when I get to that point about what you should do if it continues,
Right.
because it's not it could be exactly that sign of deeper issues.
Hmm.
But in psychology, sort of the long-term emptiness or numbness is rarely a random symptom. Apparently, it's usually your brain's protective alarm system sort of waving a white flag.
Okay.
It can be an indicator of several things. Really, the first one it touches on is nervous system burnout.
Burnout. Yeah, it's definitely a feature of burnout.
So when you handle too much stress or worry, or perhaps just a routine for too long, your brain sort of flips this defensive circuit breaker,
Hmm.
and it numbs your emotions to protect you from being overwhelmed. The sort of catch here is that it can also numb joy and curiosity along with the stress, so it can make you feel hollow. It can
Yeah,
make
it's
you
one of the associations, sort of diagnostically, with feeling hollow is disassociation.
is it
So
yeah
yeah, so when you're kind of dissociating, which again might be a symptom of a deeper situation,
yeah
it's like
yeah
you're feeling as if you're not really inhabiting your own body,
yeah.
that you're not, you're not there, as it were.
Exactly like as you said earlier on, like a ghost watching in from the outside.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And there's another thing which they call the autopilot trap, which I hadn't come across before. Is if your daily routine is filled with tasks that you have to do, but
Hmm.
lack things that you really like doing, or don't meet your sort of deep personal values, your inner self can sort of start to starve and give you this hollow feeling,
Yeah.
which I sort of related to that a bit. I really
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. I mean, you might feel that sort of feeling if you are a people pleaser, because
Oh,
then
that's interesting.
you'll spend a lot of your time. I mean, I think what you're talking about there is an inability or getting into the habit of not kind of feeding yourself either relationally, in the relationships that you have, or in terms of your interests and pursuits. If your life is fundamentally lived to try and keep other people happy,
Right.
then your own kind of soul, if you like, your self
Mm.
in inverted commas, is starving.
It makes sense. It does
And
make sense.
yeah, I
But
imagine you must see that quite a lot in recovery.
and when it came up some time ago, this feeling of hollow, as I say, it's quite descriptive, and other people have alluded very much to a similar sort of feeling. And it is, and it comes really under this third point I wanted to tell you what that hollowness is trying to tell you. Is things like unprocessed transitions, like significant life shifts,
Hmm.
like going into recovery, for example, or
Hmm.
like a relationship breakup,
Hmm.
or a career change, or moving to a new area. And there's lots of these sort of things, or losing a goal you've worked years to achieve. All
Yeah,
these things,
or completing it.
or completing it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it leaves that void, like this physical void
yeah.
that your mind sort of registers as a blank slate.
Yeah, I think the feeling of hollowness is quite interesting when you think about its relationship with addiction,
Yeah,
because if you think of being hollow as a kind of absence of a coherent sense of who you are, kind of moving forward in your life, then that feeling can be, obviously that feeling is going to be uncomfortable. And it might be one of the reasons why you get into using drink drugs in the first place. So you don't have to feel it, right? But it can also work the other way around. You know, that feeling, that being in addiction. I mean, you know this better than I do, but being in addiction, your life is so narrow. You're not feeding yourself, are you? Because everything is kind of focused on drink and drugs. So there's no room for relationships. There's no room for kind of wider existence. So that in itself, so addiction either is a kind of a destructive way of answering a feeling of hollowness, or it can be the way into addiction. You know, so it can go both ways.
You're absolutely right, and it's almost like on a you can almost graph it. So initially, the hollow feeling is filled quite nicely and successfully with drink and drugs.
Yeah,
and which then unfortunately, after a little while, the turn comes, and it starts to feed that hollowness and feeling. It makes it worse. Yeah. So the thing that gave you a light relief from it in the first place then becomes your own worst enemy, because it feeds it and makes it worse.
Yeah. So when you get into recovery, that's part of the reason why I guess people have. You know, you've talked a lot in the past about the necessity of kind of getting back in touch with your emotions. You start feeling things when you go into recovery. And so you are probably faced in a lot of cases with that hollowness at the start of recovery, because it's there again, and you haven't got any way to anesthetize it anymore, because you can't take drugs and have a drink. So you're kind of working through that to rebuild a sense of internal existence, aren't you?
You are absolutely right, which is why the early period in recovery is so tricky and so tough, because those emotions that you've numbed for so long come flooding back, and you've got no way. You've got your experience of processing them properly has been many years ago, if at all.
Yeah.
And so it is a tough gig, which is nice when you come out the other side of that and start to feel more whole again.
Is it as tough a gig as the Crown and Crest in Sevenoaks?
That was a very tough physical gig. There's way too much fighting going on in the audience. Yeah. So that was the main point of what that hollowness is trying to tell you. And the other part of the research came in was sort of small ways to sort of spark your vitality today, to give it a bit of a boost. Because when you feel completely empty, often you don't have the energy for a massive lifestyle overhaul, do you? Instead, you need to make these sort of tiny, almost little micro steps to slowly bring your nervous system back online. And so there's one sort of physical thing that they talk about, and a couple of sort of emotional things that you can do. Now, I don't know if you agree with this or not, but the first one was to shock your senses.
Interesting. In what sense?
Well, to sort of hollowness can sort of keep you entirely trapped in your own head, and to break the cycle physically, you can splash freezing cold water on your face, or hold like ice cubes in your hand.
Yeah.
Or take a hot shower and focus on the sensation of the water. So to sort of bring your
interrupt the cycle.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think that would be a?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Valid.
Yeah, I do. Sometimes. I mean, it's certainly in a way, it's a kind of it's similar to some of the approaches you might take if you find yourself dissociating. Yeah. Because if you're dissociating and you feel as if you're not really inhabiting your body, then doing something very physical that kind of forces you to connect with your own body can be quite a good way of snapping yourself out of it. So I think I've probably said this before, but there've been times where I've been working with someone, they're dissociating, you kind of see it happen. It can be a little bit freaky. And I used to work in this clinic room where there were lots of panes of glass in the windows. And I would I'd ask them to count the panes of glass in the windows, because that again is kind of putting you back in touch with something very mundane and pragmatic. That if you do that, you kind of forced back into some sort of synchronicity with yourself. But I think splashing freezing cold water on your face, certainly on a day like today, would be excellent. You don't need to be hollow either; just need to be bloody hot.
You'd certainly feel the joy from that, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
you'd bring you back to your senses.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that sort of tactic works if that feeling is, I guess we're talking largely, apart from the conversation we had about addiction, we're talking about hollow being a kind of fairly transitory state rather than something that's going on for a long period of time. I think it's worth saying that if you do have this feeling of hollowness and it goes on and on and on and on, you need to seek some help
You
because
do.
there's probably something else going on, which is different from, feeling a kind of temporary hollowness that might, as you say, come about as a result of you having achieved something you've worked for a long time, and then you think, well, crikey, what now? What am I supposed to do now?
Yeah.
So I think there's a kind of distinction that's important to make there.
There is, and again, I'll sort of wrap it up looking at that. But there's a couple of more psychological ones about. Well, it's headed up that lower the bar for success, and the way that plays out is that you don't wait until you feel like doing a hobby or seeing a friend. So action can often come before motivation. So pick one incredibly small thing to do purely for yourself, even if it lasts just 5 minutes. And we do talk about this in groups that sometimes, when you're in the madness, or certainly when you first go into recovery, you don't feel like suddenly, people saying, oh, you need to fill this void. The drink and drugs have left, it took up such a massive proportion of the time. You've got to fill the void. And people say, I don't feel like I haven't had a hobby for many years. My only hobby was sitting on the sofa with a crack pipe or drinking, watching Homes Under the Hammer. It's not a great existence.
No, it feels depressing just thinking about that.
Well, quite, and that happens day after day after day. No break from it. Absolute Groundhog Day existence. It's horrible.
Yeah,
Go on. Sorry. So to fill that void, it can feel overwhelming at first. You think, well, how do I start? What do I do?
Yeah.
So it is just taking little baby steps. Things like just ring in your friend, or just try a little bit of mindful colouring or anything like that, just to sort of get you back into looking at to perhaps sparking a little bit of creativity, something which makes you feel like you're achieving something.
Yeah, I think if you feel like that and you don't know what to do with yourself, it's worth, if you can, and I know this is much easier to say than it is to do, but it's worth thinking about that as potentially a kind of opportunity to try things. You don't have to dedicate yourself to anything. You don't have to suddenly say, I'm going to take up a hobby and it's going to be, everything to me. But just if there isn't really much going on, think, well, I'll try some different things, see if anything kind of catches.
Absolutely. And it can be quite tricky just to get people over that initial hurdle.
Yeah, I think Viktor Frankl, who we've spoken about before, he wrote Man's Search for Meaning, which I think was one of the books I recommended to Jez.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if he read it. You'll have to ask him.
Probably did.
Yeah. I think he described this kind of feeling of hollowness or emptiness as, it's not a sadness, but it's an absence of why. It's like you don't know what the point of you is when you're kind of feeling like that. And I guess that's kind of what you're talking about. You go into recovery and you spent years and years in, just watching Homes Under the Hammer with a crack pipe. Then your sense of kind of purpose and what is the point of me and, what is my life for? It's kind of understandable that might be difficult to suddenly grasp. And I think you also have to kind of cut yourself a little bit of slack and recognize that it might take a bit of time and, take a bit of work before you get there.
And that's it, because people with addiction issues often get very frustrated that things aren't happening quickly enough. They spent many years chasing things and going up, get to stronger drugs and stronger alcohol because they need the hit quick. And then going into recovery, things don't happen quickly enough. So that sense of frustration can also give you this sense of feeling hollow.
Yeah.
It's not.
It makes sense, doesn't it? You think about it. If you're in discomfort, whether it's related to addiction or anything else, then it makes sense that you want to get it fixed quick as possible.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Once you've got to that point where you think, right, I'm going to get some help with this, whatever it is, you want it to work right now. And I think trying to help people recognise that, if you've spent a decade or more getting yourself into this space, it's not going to change in a fortnight. And
no, We often talk about this. It's long, slow descent into addiction. It doesn't happen overnight, and then it's a long, slow climb out again as well.
Yeah.
But you'd like to think if you spent 10 years in the madness, it doesn't take 10 years to get out. But
No, it probably feels like it when you're at the start of it.
Oh, it does, absolutely.
Yeah.
It looks like an enormous, overwhelming task ahead of you.
Yeah.
Another thing that was mentioned was sort of was to name the physical feeling. Sort of close your eyes and scan your body, and instead of saying "I feel empty," try to describe it physically. Is your chest heavy? Are your shoulders tight? Because naming physical sensations slowly lowers the emotional walls.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the research tells me, and and working through that, I think that's absolutely right.
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, it's a form of self-hypnosis, that is, because you're doing a kind of, when you notice something. So, for instance, if you notice your chest being very tight, if you kind of close your eyes, if you're feeling hollow or whatever it is you're feeling, and you close your eyes and you think, where am I feeling that in my body? And you feel a kind of tension in your chest, just noticing it will probably start to release it a little bit.
Mm.
And so that's sort of progressing your thought process through your physical body and noticing where you're feeling tightness or discomfort is in itself quite a kind of cathartic and therapeutic way of dealing with yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. And I think that, when I was doing the research on this, it did, the more I read up about it, the more it seemed, that feeling of hollow that person mentioned all that time ago, I can recognize it in so many other people that haven't actually named it like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I was quite interested in doing all this, but I've sort of come to the end of those bits there. But I just wanted to say, wanted to round up, and you've already sort of already mentioned it a couple of times, looked at it, is sort of, if this numbness, if it has lasted for more than, a couple of weeks, or if you're sort of completely losing interest in staying safe and well, it could be a sign of other issues like depression, as you say, or other mental health issues.
Yeah.
And you just got to remember, you don't have to carry this heavy burden by yourself. It is time to talk to a professional, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. There's actually something called the subjective emptiness scale that was developed for precisely this reason.
Was it? Brilliant.
Yeah, because that kind of feeling of hollowness spans across so many different presentations.
Yeah.
I think the researchers that created this wanted to try and find something that would identify exactly what you've just been saying. Is this just some sort of temporary state that I'm feeling? Or is this something kind of more pervasive that needs some sort of professional support? And there are five. Let me tell you what the questions are.
Please do.
There are five statements, and the way that it works is that when you read the statement, you have to decide whether this applies to you most of the time, sometimes, rarely, or not at all, right? And then you kind of score it. We'll not do that, but I'll tell you what the statements are.
Yeah.
So if you're kind of listening to this and you're thinking, yeah, I feel like that most of the time, to, the majority of these statements, then it might be time for you to talk to someone.
Yeah.
So the first one is, I feel empty inside.
Okay, yeah.
The second one is, I feel all alone in the world.
Yeah.
The third one is, I feel absent in my own life. The fourth one is, I feel as though I am forced to exist.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And the fifth one is, no matter what I do, I still feel unfulfilled. And when I read them, I thought, well, I could imagine you being at the beginning of your recovery and feeling the majority of those.
Yeah, yeah.
But over time, I imagine that actually probably quite quickly they start to ease in most people. So I think the relevance of those statements is if you kind of listen to them, you think, yeah, that is how I feel, and I felt like that for a long time, then this probably isn't just a kind of a passing feeling related to something fairly mundane in your life. It might be something more significant. But I suspect for most people who are listening, the examples that you've given are the ones that would most easily and accurately sum up their feeling of hollowness. It's like it's a feeling you feel sometimes. I think we spoke about it, didn't we, yesterday, when we said you feel a bit hollow because there's no World Cup game on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that bizarre. You become used to something.
Yeah.
And there's been a glut of football on.
Yeah.
every day, and
Yeah.
then suddenly, bang, none. Yeah, it was a hollow feeling.
Yeah, and this one because there's funny kickoff times and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't think it's quite as pronounced as it is
no,
if it's being played, for instance, in Europe, where,
yeah,
and we've spoken about this before, where there might be two games on every day, and you're kind of
yeah.
watching them. You might not watch all of them, but you're kind of seeing a lot of football, and then suddenly you get towards the end of the tournament, there's no game, and you think, what? What am I
What's
supposed to
going
do with
on?
myself? And I think that's an illustration of how quickly we can kind of reorientate our life around some sort of interest. Doesn't have to be football, obviously, but if you're doing something routinely and then suddenly for some reason it isn't there, or you can't do it, or it ends, that's really difficult. I can remember when I used to do a lot of amateur dramatics. You rehearse the play for
Yeah,
months, then you get to the run and you do a run from kind of Tuesday to Saturday in the theatre. And I used to feel terrible, terrible emptiness after that. I'd be like, wow, now what am I going to do? You got that kind of real kind of adrenaline in the high of the performance. And then you've got like nothing. And you think, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. And then, of course, after a few days or a week or whatever, you feel rebalanced, but
you recalibrate and start
recalibrate.
and pick up a script for another play.
Exactly. Another Ray Cooney farce. Whoops, though, there goes my trousers, or whatever it might be.
And so the cycle begins again.
Exactly.
But you begin to learn to deal with that, those horrible voids between plays.
Well, I think what happens is in those sorts of situations, you start to deal with it because you know what the routine is. You know,
Yeah.
oh, I know I feel like this, and I know I'm going to stop feeling like this at some point. But there are other things that happen in our lives where that you don't feel so certain about it, do you? And I imagine that addiction would be one of them, because you step into recovery and you think, I've got no idea where this is going. Everybody says it's a good thing to do, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, I can't see it at the moment. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah. Good. Well, that's
All right.
that's a nice place to sort of wind that up then with
Yeah.
with that scale you talk. What was it called again?
It's called the subjective emptiness scale.
Subjective emptiness scale. I'll have to look at that because that looks like a good one to understand.
Yeah.
Okay. So should
next?
we go on to the conundrum feature?
Yeah. I've written you a conundrum.
Okay. What was it?
It's this. Your partner enters recovery. You expect them to get better, but because they're no longer filling the hollow with drink and drugs, they appear worse. What do you do? So I'm asking you, obviously, I mean, you know the answer to this. I'm asking you from the perspective of someone's partner who might not have any idea about what recovery looks like, and their partner goes into recovery and thinks, happy days, everything's going to be great. And then they see their partner seemingly struggle even more than they were when they were drinking. What would you say to someone who was in that position and struggling with it?
Saying to the partner that's witnessing this.
Yeah.
It's down to, and this does come up quite a lot, as you can imagine. People come into rehab, and they change.
Yeah.
They change as a person, but initially there's a great struggle, as we've already mentioned. There's this void that needs filling, and this sense of emotions coming back which you can't handle. So yeah, the person initially it gets worse before it gets better. Let's put it that way. And so you sort of need to just educate the partner on that. If I was talking to someone, say, this is what they're going through is absolutely normal. It's what we expect.
Mm-hmm.
They will come out the other side as long as they stay sober. But this is the process. And you will have concerns for them, but you will sticking by them and making sure that you support them correctly, and don't berate them, don't berate them, or to say, why isn't this working? Because people expect also that you go into rehab and you're cured, and so there's a lot of education around what to expect.
Do you think sometimes partners, I mean, I don't know if this has come up in the past, but do you think sometimes partners will look at someone who's gone into recovery and see that they're kind of struggling emotionally because that's par for the course at the beginning of their recovery journey, and wonder if actually what they're seeing is them just being disgruntled about not being able to drink or take drugs?
Yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, you also get the partners will take on some of the angst themselves and think, oh, am I not allowed to drink in front of them anymore? Or, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Life's going to be boring. This is all I've known of this.
I feel hollow.
Eh?
I feel hollow.
I feel hollow. They can see it. Yeah, they can see a hollow future.
Yeah.
And which is why it's really important. Anyone that has that is a partner of someone who's got addiction issues, do a bit of research into it, but also get your own support, which is where Al-Anon come into it, and Al-Ateen, where you can go and work a program yourself, so that you do actually grow your knowledge of the condition and start to appreciate it.
Which is a good discipline anyway, because as we discussed before, when a partner is in therapy and the other partner isn't in therapy, which of course someone is essentially when they're in recovery, then there is a gap that is growing between those two people because one of you is growing faster.
Yeah.
So that can put a strain on relationships, can't it?
It puts enormous strain, or it can do. We see people where they change enormously and then suddenly decide that partner perhaps they didn't like them after all once they've sobered up.
Yeah.
Or a partner that doesn't like the sober person.
Yeah.
They don't like them because they've lost control over them, where they could use this stick to beat them with. You're just an addict. You must do this. You do as I say, and they'll control them with the money, control them with perhaps the supply of drugs. So it's a little bit of a minefield. But I think if there's a supportive partner who's willing just to learn about the condition as well, then that will hopefully lead to a successful conclusion and a reigniting of a relationship. It can make it a hell of a lot stronger.
Yeah. Good. Thank you.
Does that answer that, or does
I think it does. I can't remember what the conundrum was now, but I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does answer.
I've tripped on too long, really.
No. That's I wrote that specifically because I thought it would give you the headroom to give us a comprehensive answer for anybody who might be listening, who might be in that position, might have a partner who's just going into recovery or recently in recovery.
Yeah. I think there's a lot.
I do think about those things occasionally.
You do? Well, it's remarkable. Should we go on to the gratitude lists?
Why don't we do that? You can go first if you like.
Okay. Well, I've got two people on my gratitude list.
Nice.
I've got Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane. Okay. Now, I'm grateful that they've kept the World Cup alive for England as long as they have, in spite of some quite poor performances. Mm-hmm. But I think you and I would both agree the World Cup is brilliant. When your own team goes out, it loses a bit of the gloss.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think I would probably, I may have a different feeling on Sunday morning if it's not gone well. But I think I'd probably feel less affected this time because I feel a little bit out of touch with the whole tournament because it's been in the middle of the night. So, but I certainly recognise. I mean, for instance, that game, the last game.
Yeah.
I didn't start up and watch it. I just woke up to find out the result, which was a bit odd. Really, it was a bit weird.
It was a bit weird, but I'd made the mistake of leaving my phone. But my goal alerts that come up on my phone.
Oh yeah,
that annoy the hell out of you when we're watching the game live.
Yeah.
They came up. I suddenly had a couple of beeps. Around about sort of 4 o'clock-ish in the morning.
Oh, okay. So did you actually wake up and check your phone?
Not at first. I just went back to sleep. I thought, I can't be bothered to check that. There's been a goal. Then another one came quite quickly. The beeps were going 3-1 up and then going back to 3-2. Those are the two beeps I heard. So I hadn't heard the previous beeps. I was too deeply asleep.
Right. That's interesting because I woke up in the middle of the night and I remember thinking to myself, I wonder how England got on. Or I didn't know what time it was. I didn't even know if the game had finished. But then I heard a car go down the road and I heard the sort of faint sound of some male voices singing a football song. And I thought, they probably won.
They've won.
So it's been a bit slightly surreal tournament for some reason. I don't remember it being like this in 1994, but then maybe I was happier to stay up till all hours in 1994. Probably. Yeah,
I don't really remember the thrust of the tournament particularly, and it being perhaps it wasn't quite as we didn't have Trump involved, that's for sure.
No, but we did. I remember we did watch the final in your garden.
We did,
didn't we?
We did. Yeah, Brazil against Italy. Yeah,
we watched the Divine Ponytail miss a penalty.
We did. Yeah. I remember that. I think it's just an excuse to get you around so we could have a few drinks back in the day.
It was, yeah. Right, good. Well,
What's yours?
I'm not grateful for Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham.
You're not?
I'm grateful for trees.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's much more grounded than mine, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
I think I've probably had trees before, but
Yeah.
specifically, I'm grateful for trees this week because although Daisy likes heat even less than me, and she won't be going out at lunchtimes in this weather, Nellie likes to have a bit of a wander at lunchtime. So we've been going to the woods at the Heath and walking through the woods, which even today was acceptable. And I was kind of looking up at the canopy and thinking, thank goodness for the trees, because otherwise I would be roasting here. But, you know, so being able to wander around under a huge canopy of trees on a day like this feels like a right result. And
A
I know
little
it's
win.
yeah, and I know it's not a tree really, but this year I've grown for the first time blueberry bushes.
Oh,
So
right. Oh, okay.
the clues in the name, they're actually bushes rather than trees.
Yeah. Yeah.
I find myself, and they're ripening now, my blueberries, and I find myself amazed that I can grow my own version of something that costs so much money in the shops. And I'm
Yeah.
sort of out there thinking, I'm picking all my blueberries, and I'm thinking, this is great. That's probably about £2 worth. Oh,
Yeah.
that's about £2.50's worth. It almost feels like a secret cheat that nobody knows about, that you can actually have a blueberry bush and grow your own.
Ah, you're like Tom Good. But
Yeah, a bit like Tom Good, and I probably wouldn't. Don't think I'm going to have a goat.
a goat nor a pig. But I thought, yeah, it's yeah. I mean, and are they nice? Are they nice and
Yeah,
sweet?
absolutely
your blueberries?
delicious. Yeah, delicious. Yeah, yeah. What's not to like?
Well,
Fantastic.
no, I love blueberries. They're a super fruit, aren't they? I have them on muesli every
Yeah,
day.
I've got some kind of the classic blueberry, but I've also got a one that's called pink lemonade, which is a pink blueberry. How you can have a pink blueberry, I'm not really sure, but
Never heard of that. But are they nice?
yeah, delicious. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you'll have to pick me some then. Let me have some.
Well, if I get a good enough harvest, I might let you have two or
Two or
three.
three.
You can take home for your muesli.
Okay, good. No, that's a very good gratitude.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
We go on to the lyric challenge then, shall we?
Yep. Yep.
The first of the four questions.
Yep.
I'll protect you from the hooded claw. Keep the vampires from your door.
Yeah.
Is it computing?
Well, it kind of rings a bell, but I'm really nowhere near it. So you're going to have to give me some sort of clue.
Oh, okay. Liverpool band, I believe. Yeah. Had singles band in the past.
Oh,
80s.
Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Absolutely. Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Is it The Power of Love? No,
It is The Power of
it's
Love.
Power of
Yes.
Love. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I can hear it now. Yeah.
So you didn't really take too much. You didn't need too many hints, did you? There.
Not too much. The power. Whenever I think of The Power of Love, I always then think of that other schmaltzy American version of. Well, it's not the same song, is it? It's a different
Jennifer
song.
Rush. Was it Jennifer?
Yeah,
Rush?
that's it. Yeah, Jennifer Rush. You like Rush, don't you?
I tell you, they're touring at the moment, Rush, aren't they?
They are. Yeah, I'm not
I think
sure about that though.
Only two out of the three are still alive, aren't they? The originals.
Yeah, yeah. Neil Peart's dead, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The question.
They had a song called Trees, of course.
They do have some.
So they were also grateful for trees, weren't they?
They're very grateful for trees.
Yeah.
Although there was unrest in the forest. Wasn't
There is trouble with the trees.
trouble with the trees,
Because the maples want more sunlight and the oaks ignore their pleas.
which was against sort of English colonialism, wasn't it?
Yeah, is that the next lyric?
Because
Because if it is, I'm going to know it.
yeah. Luckily not. No. The next lyric is, "Close your eyes, give me your hand, darling."
Blimey. Yeah, but what's the next lyric?
That is it. I'm not. That's not an offer.
Stop calling me darling. Close your eyes, take my hand, darling.
Give me your hand, darling.
Close your eyes, give me your hand, darling. It doesn't even scan very well. That's a bit weird. Clue?
Again, it's sort of an 80s song, I'd say. A girl band.
Close your eyes, give me. Oh, I know what this is. This is the Bangles.
It is.
Close your eyes,
That's
give
it.
me your hand, darling.
That's it. So it does scan okay. So what's
Do
it
you
called?
understand? Eternal Flame.
Eternal Flame.
Wow, I'm on fire.
You are on fire. You are the Eternal Flame.
Right, okay. Yeah, that's good. That's 4 points I've got.
You're doing well. You
I
might
can
get
cruise. I can cruise now, I think.
might get a full house.
Oh, that's it. Put the kibosh on me. Go on.
If you hate me after what I say,
Yeah.
can't put it off any longer. Just got to tell her anyway.
What is it again?
If you hate me after what I say,
You hate me after what I
can't
said.
put it off any longer. Just got to tell her anyway.
Yeah, this is ringing a bell, but again, same thing. I'm not really getting it. Can you give me a nudge?
Early 70s,
Oh,
sort of glam rocky. They weren't glam rock particularly, but from that era,
glam rockish.
glam rockish.
Okay, what's the lyric again?
If you hate me after what I say,
Yeah,
can't put it off any longer. Just got to tell her anyway.
yeah. This is definitely ringing a bell. You hate me after what I say. Can't put it. This. I bet this will be a single that I've got. Is it the sort of band that I would have liked in the early 70s? Do you reckon?
Yes, at that age when you're.
Is it the Bay City Rollers?
It is the Bay City Rollers.
Yeah. I can hear this. Is it Bye Bye Baby?
It is Bye Bye
Oh
Baby.
my God. I can't believe it. I don't think I've ever got the first three right.
No, I don't think you have. But I was going to, if you were going to ask for clues,
Yeah, go on.
I was going to say scarves. Scarves, I was going to say, and tartan.
Yeah. Well, I definitely would have got it then. Because I'm sure I've told you the story about how I had to go to a wedding. How old would I have been? Probably 8, something like that. I would have been pretty young. I had to go to a wedding and I was mad on the Bay City Rollers.
Yeah.
And I asked my mum to buy me a tartan Bay City Rollers scarf, right? And she wouldn't do that. She found an old piece of tartan material which I tied around my wrist and went to the wedding. I must have looked a right sight.
To a wedding with it, or no? I mean,
It was a wedding. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
So you properly dressed up for it.
Yeah.
But it was the fashion was to tie the tartan scarf around your wrist, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
It wasn't worn around the neck. It was around the wrist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shang-a-lang.
Shang-a-lang. They're all there, weren't they?
I don't think I had a Bay City Rollers album, but I really like the Bay City Rollers.
Yeah.
Isn't one of them dead? Maybe
McEwen,
more than one.
Yeah,
Is McEwen dead?
McEwen.
Yeah, Les McEwen.
Les McEwen. Yeah, he's passed away.
Did he have some alcohol problems?
He did.
Yeah, I thought so. Would he make it? Didn't get into our alcoholic supergroup, did he?
I don't think he did. I don't think they're really a super group, Bay City Rollers.
Maybe we should try and make an alcoholics 70s pop group.
Oh, yes, I think we've got plenty to choose from.
Yeah, we must have. Yeah.
Oh, so the 4-pointer.
Yeah, come on then.
Just to admit one mistake, that can be hard to take.
No, I'm not getting anything here. Just to admit one mistake, that can be hard to take. Can you give me a nudge?
Similar sort of era, really.
Okay.
Slightly later in the 70s.
Slightly later. Bands,
later.
pop group.
Pop band, yeah.
Just to admit one mistake, that can be hard to take. Is that right?
Yeah.
Just to admit one mistake, that can be hard to take. Is this likely to have been a band I liked?
Just to admit one mistake, that can be hard to take.
Do you think this might have been a band I liked?
You may have done. I think we all liked these sort of poppy bands at that time when we were in our
So British, I'm guessing.
Yes. On top of the pops a lot.
Yeah. Same sort of feel as Bay City Rollers, Waddy or something like that.
Less Scottish. They would have been they'd have been sharing the stage with people like Waddy on Top of the Pops. So that era.
It doesn't sound like it's mud. Sounds like Mother will remember a bit early.
No.
I'm going to struggle with this one, I think. Just to admit one mistake. I don't want the points, but can you give me any more clues? I'll forego the points, but I'd like to get it.
The lead singer didn't have any hair.
Oh. Didn't have any... Oh, was it Hot Chocolate?
It is, yes.
Oh, so was it You Sexy Thing?
No.
Oh. I Believe in Miracles. No, that's the same song, isn't it? Bloody hell. I'll just go through the entire lyric of that song. Oh, I'm not sure I know any other Hot Chocolate songs.
You do. You would know this one.
Yeah. No, go on. What is it?
So You Win Again.
Oh, God. So You Win Again. Yeah. Oh, well. I mean, I did pretty well.
You did. 6 out of 10's not bad.
Disappointed by that. What was his name? Errol something or other.
Errol Brown.
Errol Brown. Is he still around, Errol Brown?
I don't think he is, no.
Although we've already got a singer for our... and he probably didn't have an alcohol problem. So
no,
but he didn't have any hair, certainly.
He didn't have any hair.
Yeah. He was if he'd been born a little bit later, he could have done Homes Under the Hammer, couldn't he? Instead of old...
He looks like Dion Dublin.
He does look like Dion Dublin. They've got the same shiny pate.
And I remember on Steve Wright in the afternoon, he used to play You Don't Remember Me, Do You? And he used to cut it and say, yeah, I do. Yeah. Bloke, lead singer, Hot Chocolate. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very funny. I like that. That's good. All right.
6 out of 10. Not bad at all.
Thank you very much. And I'm going to go and water the garden now, which I've got to do by hand because of bloody Southeast Water. There were a bunch of absolute arseholes.
Do you obviously take that on board? You're not supposed to be using a hose?
Of course, yeah.
You still use the same amount of water, it just takes longer.
Yeah, I mean, I put the hose in the watering can and just carry the watering can. I don't really do that if anyone from Southeast Water's listening.
No, quite.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a stickler for following regulations.
The rules, absolutely right, yeah.
All right.
Nice one.
Enjoy France-Morocco later.
Oh, yeah, we got an hour till France-Morocco's on, haven't we?
Yeah, that's okay. I'll enjoy some of the pre-match hype.
I can have something to eat before then. Lovely.
Yeah, lovely. Are you going to be having something in keeping with the fixture? For instance, l'escargot or a tagine?
No, I'm having a layered salad, a pasta layered salad.
Oh, pasta. I was going to say, you could probably have a layered salad with couscous and get away with it for Morocco.
Yeah, you could, couldn't you?
Yeah. All right.
And, laters then.
All right. Laters.
Bye.
Bye. Sideways was created by Graham Landy and Martin Pankhurst. If you want to read more about our work or sort through the extensive archive of past episodes, just visit grahamlandy-wellbeing.co.uk/sideways-podcast. You can follow us on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram at Sideways Podcast, and you can email us if you have a question or if there's something you'd like us to cover. But most of all, we want to tell you how grateful we are that you come and listen, and we ask that if you've enjoyed what you've heard, that you spread the word. And we'll see you next week.